We within Agile, we love our estimates, and especially we love our story point destination. Welcome back to my channel, where we discuss everything related to Scrum, Agile, and software development. And today we are talking about a really controversial topic, #NoEstimates. We within Agile, we love our estimates, and especially we love our story point destination. When someone says #NoEstimates, we get really upset. So what is this #NoEstimates movement? So basically what they are saying is that we as humans, we are really bad at estimating. An estimate, after all, is just a guess. So all the effort we spend, we dedicate in estimating, why not save that and not bother estimating at all? Let's first explain the concept of no estimates and what it means. So basically what they are saying, select the most important, the highest priority item, break it down into chunks that is risk neutral. So you're not betting your job on it, you're not betting the future of your company and organization on it, into a small piece of chunk of work. Develop that feature, that functionality, then refactor it. Take your functionality, break it into logical, risk neutral size work items, and then work on them and refactor them as required. When most people argue against #NoEstimate, they said that the process of estimation is more than just estimation. It helps us break down the user story. It helps us clarify assumptions. It helps the developers understand the user story more clearly. The idea is that during the estimation process, we play planning poker. When everyone reveals their card, let's say the developer is revealing 2 story points, the tester is saying 8 story points. We get better understanding of why is the developer is saying 2 story points and the tester is saying 8. Well, it might be really easy for the developer to develop this, but really difficult for the tester to test this. So everyone in the team gets better understanding of the user story. But on the other hand, if we look at the 3 C's in user story, card, conversation, confirmation, it is based on the concept that the user story would be written on an index card. As a user, I want this so that, and on the back of it would be acceptance criteria. And it is a token, a placeholder to have the conversation with the product owner and the customers relating to that feature. So the question is, how often during the planning poker in reality are we uncovering hidden assumptions? From a personal experience, most of the time when we're estimating, someone will say 5, the other one will say 8. There isn't that much of a difference in the understanding. There might be small things that they might discuss. Even if in reality, through the process of planning poker, we are not uncovering that many assumptions, still there is a value in estimates, isn't there? With the estimates, we are able to tell our customers, our stakeholders, potentially when this feature might be completed by. So what is the alternative to this? I want everyone here to do one simple exercise. Now, after this video, log into Jira and take any project, whatever project there is randomly. Look at the first 3 sprints of the project and get the average velocity. And then over the lifetime of the project, let's say 1 year or 2 years, based on that velocity of 3 sprints, try to predict how many story points would have been completed in total, cumulatively, at the end of 1 year, at the end of 2 years, and then compare that with the reality. So what you would generally find on average is that, let's say if your velocity is 50 story points, average velocity based upon that after 1 year, let's say the project was 1 year long, you will be off by about 20%. If we do the same experiment now with the 5 sprints, we take our velocity from 5 sprints, and based on that, we try to predict how many story points we can complete after 1 year. Will be off by 16-17%. The more data we have, the more accuracy there is. So a buffer of 20% is good enough when we are committing to our customers. So what alternative does #NoEstimates have? So the #NoEstimates, what they are saying, instead of you estimating story points, just count how many stories you have completed in a sprint. Your velocity is the number of story points you complete in each sprint. Let's say in the last sprint, if you completed 10 stories, next sprint, take 10 in. That is your velocity. And based now, if you do that same experiment again, but instead of taking our velocity from story points, we count our average number of stories we completed in each of the first 3 sprints, and based upon that we try to predict how many stories we'll complete at the end of the year. But you would find that your tolerance is going to be about 4%. You'll be only off by about 4%. And let's try that again with 5 sprints. If we take the average of the number of stories we completed in each sprint over the 5 sprints, and use that to predict how many stories we'll have completed at the end of the year, again, our tolerance is going to be about 4%. So what we realize is that by counting number of stories we complete, we can more accurately predict how much work, how many stories we can get completed within 1 year. Our estimates are a lot more accurate than trying to do all of this math of Fibonacci sequence, relative estimation, and all of those. So is the hashtag NoEstimates movement onto something? I wonder. So if we think back to, let's say, early 2000s, and let's say you are a software developer and you have just heard about test-driven development, and you went to your manager and said, you know what, I want to try test-driven development. I want to write my test before my code. And his response will be, are you mad? You're going to write a test before you have written any code? What are you going to test? That idea of test-driven development looked and sounded absurd, crazy. Same way as this idea and thought of NoEstimates sounds today. Is the hashtag NoEstimate about to be the next test-driven development? Next BDD? Next pair programming? Only time will tell us. But I will say one thing, it's not one thing that we should just brush off lightly. I think that as a Scrum Masters and Agile coaches, we should actually look into this. And as Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, we should be data driven. So we should use our project data to get a better understanding of, does hashtag NoEstimates have any legs to stand upon. Till next time, thank you.